Hello everyone and welcome to another Stadium Extravaganza video. We have plenty to show you today, so I'm very excited to get on. We have some stadiums from users who requested a showcase, and I kind of let them slip through the cracks, so I apologize for that. I'm going to start with their stadiums, then we're going to move on to a few names that you probably remember from previous videos, and then we'll close it out with another okay stadium from myself. So, like I said, we have a lot to go through, so let's get into it. I guess we can start things off with a stadium from a user we've seen before. This one from Wally74W. We saw Gibson 23 park from him before. Now we're taking a look at Blue Ox Stadium, this one in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Altitude of 2,575 feet, so the ball will move pretty good. Built in 2006, and I love it. I love it when you can disguise the facing of the upper deck with a scoreboard or a sign or something, just to give it a little bit of a different look. I think you get tired of seeing the same old stand props, so hopefully in the future we'll see new ones that we don't have to mess around with this as much. But it looks really great. Everything's blue, going with the building up top here to kind of give it a unique window up here. And then I never thought this building kind of fit in with stadiums. It looked very 70s Atlantic City kind of, run down kind of look, but blended in with this stadium, and it looks great. Of course, adding stands on the balcony helps, and blending in the show sign up here, from the scoreboard. Cool idea. Works really well. And of course, I always like adding pillars to like a second deck or a concourse or something. I think it just gives it a cool look. I love this little bleacher section above the batter's eye with Wally dogs in the background. That concession stand probably serves some good hot dogs. Got some picnic tables up here and another little section of bleachers next to the batter's eye. And I like this little double deck here. Wally 74W over here with the Hit It Here Cafe signs surrounding it. Perfect scoreboard for this field. I always get a retractable roof vibe when I see the gates used as like a window. So maybe this is supposed to be a retractable roof. Cool idea. And then we got another building over here with some bleachers mixed in with the balconies. Lots of signs. 2 decks looking really cool behind home plate. And I've said it before, I always thought it was weird how you have all these special fan seating, but it's like so far away. So it's cool to see some fun seating close to the field. So I like that idea a lot. Very cool. Wally74W, we've seen one from him before. I'm sure he has more. Taking a look at night, looks really, really good. Fantastic work. All right, this stadium was requested a while ago to showcase, so I apologize I missed those. Happy to get more on here for you, and we'll get more in the near future. Moving on. Not too long ago, I showed you a stadium based in Japan, and we have another one with Tokyo Black Stadium Spring. Located in Tokyo, Japan, another high altitude, 5,279 feet, and we got to wait 2 more years for this stadium to be built, but man, it's going to be worth the wait. Look at this. It looks so clean. I love, again, more getting creative with facing the upper deck, this time with the laser ribbon, the other side of the laser ribbon. It's the first time I've said laser ribbon cleanly, by the way. I don't know if you've noticed in my other videos, but I have trouble getting that out for some reason. I love this building with the luxury seats built in and then the plaza seats coming down. Very cool idea. Plenty of cherry blossom trees all over the place. Now this, I may have to borrow this idea. This stadium comes to us from Murph075, by the way. I love this idea. I like how steep these bleachers are, but it looks terrible. This wood looks like it's been sitting outside for years and never been taken care of. So what he did is he put the benches right on top of it. And then he hit it even more with more laser ribbon, and it looks fantastic. So mad props for that idea, Murph. It looks really, really good. Very clean, blending into the seats over here down the first baseline and back, of course, behind home plate. Looks pretty standard with some luxury seats tucked away Same thing over on the third base side, blending them in. Love that look. Cherry blossom trees kind of hiding the waterfall. Some fountains out here and left. Beautiful. You got another building with a balcony and people chilling out on the balcony. And then if you're a city scenery guy when it comes to your stadiums, this is the one you want to check out. Check out these lights. And then you pan back and look at this city. Fantastic. I think San Diego Studios did a good job of lighting up the cities in general now. I think that's one thing that's gotten a little bit better with each year of Stadium Creator. So hats off for that. But, man, look at this. He's got buildings all over the place, and he blends in that new prop, to give it that, Tokyo look. It's fantastic. And check out, behind the stadium, this big, plaza level or plaza area. Absolutely love it. Again, Murph075, another user who has plenty of good stuff in his vault. So we will see more from him in the future. This is the one I went with now, but I remember seeing some very good stuff. I love this little hidden 3-level table area. That's great. With the bar back in here, kind of hiding out. Little picnic area here in the grass with the concession stand in the back. Beautiful. Love it, love it, love it. So be on the lookout for more videos from him. If you want to know when they're coming, subscribe, like, ring that bell, and you'll know when you have new Studio 44 videos coming out. Let's move on to the next one. This is another stadium creator we are going to keep a close eye on. He's got some great stuff. He sent me a few of his stadiums. This is the one I decided to start with. We're going back to Las Vegas. This is MGM Grand Stadium, built in 2023, altitude of 2,001 feet, which I think is the actual altitude of Las Vegas because, with my stadium being in Vegas as well, I usually just keep the same altitude of that city. And while I think a lot of people, kind of think of dome stadium or at least retractable roof when it comes to Vegas because it's so hot, this stadium gives you a big Vegas vibe. I remember the Strip having this median in the middle with the palm trees in it. And he's got, the fancy, pyramid hotel over here and then the casino games, whatever over here. Big pyramid building, of course, looks very Vegas. I love, love, love the lazy river right above the batter's eye in center field. You got a couple buildings blended in together back here. Looks great. I like the little curving plaza level seats on both sides of the center field batter's eye. And of course you got this walkway over here which leads to an escalator that takes you to 2 different levels. Looks really nice. We have a custom bullpen down each line, facing different ways, but one on each side. Pretty standard behind home plate and the first and third baseline. And then behind home plate is pretty standard. Well, no, not really. He went all out here. Great idea using this as kind of a gate, an entry gate to the stadium. More palm trees in the back, and then using the gymnasium over here. The museum, and I can't remember what this building's called. Convention Center. Right behind home plate, outside of the stadium. And it looks really good. And I think most newer stadiums do look like this. The field level is way lower than street level. And I try to incorporate that in my stadiums too, and he did a good job of making it, look like he's below street level. So really, really nice job. Let's take a peek with the lights on. Phenomenal. Looks like he lit up part of the city back there. Of course, Vegas. Vegas is lights all over the place, right? Beautiful, beautiful stadium. Like I said, there's plenty more cool ones from him. He also has a YouTube channel where he showcased some of his stadiums. So if you watch his videos, though, just make sure you come back to me because his presentation's so much better than mine. They look really great. So, yeah, fantastic work, Sewell. Another user who requested stadiums a while ago and kind of slipped through the cracks. So very happy to show this to you now, and we have plenty more from him that I will show you in the future. So now we can move on to some stadium creators that we have seen in Studio 44 before. I asked and he delivered. I wanted more from Sandman Dan, and here we go. Columbus Circle Field in New York City, New York. Altitude of 3,500 feet. The ball's going to go a long way if you get a hold of it. Built in 2022. And we have anomalies. It's not my new favorite word. Using the hill. Is this from St. Louis? To kind of create a giant, curving hill surrounding the batter's eye. Love that idea. And then he's got the Minnesota Twins center field backdrop right here, blended into the waterfall. Awesome. Seats above, of course. And then Columbus Circle Field right on top. Love it. Looks fantastic. And then he covered it up too with the same concourse that he's got over here to kind of blend everything in. So great idea from Sandman Dan. He has more to show us. Oh, look at this. We have more anomalies with the Cola Hill kind of blocked off and creating this little special seating here in the middle of the bleachers. And the same over here, this one kind of behind these seats. Pretty standard behind first and third and behind the plate. But Sandman continues to deliver great stadiums. I like the luxury seats back here. Perfect scoreboard for this stadium. We'll turn the lights on and take a peek outside of the stadium. Good idea. This Columbus Circle Field, this little entrance using that building from, I think it's from Truist Field, SunTruist Field. Is that what it's called? What it's called? Atlanta Braves new stadium. Very quirky design, too. I didn't mention that. Very quirky home run fence dimensions. I love it. Oh, I've always liked these where they kind of go straight back. I know Ebbett Field does that. That's cool. I wish they would have done a little bit something about having the, and this is more SDS than, well, it's all SDS and not Sandman, but it would have been nice if they could have done that to make that look a little bit better instead of kind of hanging off the edge of the fence like that. He's got the trees lining the fence. Oh no, these are the bushes or whatever they are from the backdrop. Okay, yeah, he's got those hidden back there too. Love it. Yeah, he's got a couple new ones that he wanted me to show, but we kind of agreed on this one first. I like the singers in center field because it's lit up pretty good, and I like the colors of that neon. The turquoise or bluish green, and then the pink. I think it looks really nice together. Thank you, Sandman Dan, for submitting more. And again, we got more coming from him. But until then, we've got, I think, one more to show you before we get to mine. This original stadium comes from our replica stadium expert, Archmage. Created Anchor Park in Hamilton, Ontario, altitude of 396 feet, built in 1960. And does it ever have an awesome old school look to it? I love the idea of blending the bleachers together, two different kinds of bleachers. I think that gives it a cool look. Kind of reminds me of right field in Anaheim, where it's got the seats that kind of change levels or change angles the higher you get above the home run fence. I like the Hit It Here cafes coming around the whole outfield. And this is a cool idea over here, too. We have more bleachers. And then above, I never found many instances where it made much sense to use this bleachers. I don't know. Something about having it fenced off made it kind of awkward. But placing it in between these steps looks really, really good. So, yeah, that looks really nice. I love the entrances to the stands. I think that gives it a much more of a realistic look instead of just having wall-to-wall fans in the outfield. So, always cool when you find great ways to make these look nice. Oh, look, this has escalators that go down. That's awesome. And then escalators over here, too. He's got the facing with the storage containers, or the shipping containers, I should say. This is a cool idea, using the space base, or whatever you want to call it, the colonization buildings, to like give it like an old school like vents on top of the roof of the stadium look. Old school scoreboard in right field, of course. This green concession stand blends in perfectly. Oh, he's got he got people back there too. Nice. This one's fun. I always like using the other side of this sign because it's got that cool like trim, that white trim. Love it. Then you got 2 decks with the old school roof on top. I love it. Anchor Park with the lights on. Kind of an old school look. I mean, the outfield's pretty standard, but the infield not having much of a design is pretty old school. You don't see many Mickey Mantle highlights where the infield is striped very well. Let's see how we did with the city. City looks great on the outside. Oh, this big river back here. Look at that. That looks cool in the dark. Buildings in right field. Yeah, I love this guy's work. Nice job. Fantastic. And of course, he'll have more to show us in the future as well, I'm sure. We got one more to show you. This one is from me. I didn't really have a particular city in mind when I built this stadium, so I kind of just assigned it to the first team I could think of from the Ricky Davis League. Happened to be the Minneapolis Sky Sox. So we gave them General Mills Park because I believe General Mills is based in Minnesota. Not too sure about that, but we have an altitude of 1,000 feet, which is not the true altitude, but I raise it up a little bit because it's deep out here. There's a lot of nooks and crannies, what makes it pretty hard to hit a home run. But I'm pretty happy with the way this one turned out. I used the other side of an anomaly here, which would be the Texas Rangers' old center field hill, just as kind of a facing to the back of this seating area I have back here. I used the scoreboard over here to kind of blend into the home run fence, and then some big time anomalies over here with multiple Texas Ranger hills running into each other. Kind of looks silly with the railings cutting through the middle of the grass, but then I figured, hey, each luxury box in here has their own hill to run in and grab home run balls. So I think it looks pretty nice. And then I borrowed this idea from, I believe it was Sandman, putting a hill in front of the center field backdrop. And I like putting the grass right above it. I kind of liked having the idea of the luxury seats kind of built like underground. And then you have this little section right here with the scoreboard right next to the batter's eye, and then more hills in left center field. Left is where it gets a little bit meh, I don't know. As I stated in my last video, I love the idea of hiding the fountain, so I borrowed the idea from Sandman Dan to hide the fountain a little bit with, I just hate that green. It looks terrible. So I used the old school brick to hide the stupid green, and I added some greenery and a rock in front. I'm okay with this, I guess, with the bushes and then the fans behind it, but I don't feel crazy about this. I might have to get in there and change that, but for the most part, I'm pretty happy with how this looks. I went a little bit different with first and third base lines and behind home plate, but, not super crazy. But I also spent a little time on the city. As you can see in the background, I have the park and the road going behind it running into this road. So I think that turned out pretty nice. I was hoping to be able to reach the pond, but that's a poke. I didn't get anywhere near it. I think I maybe put some over the waterfall, but that's about it. Got the fountain up here. I always assume, I kind of just thought like this is a historical building that they didn't want torn down, so they left it up here. Maybe you can get tours, before and after the game. I liked how this building, putting these two together, looked over here. I tried to light up the park at night. Did okay, I guess. But the city looks good, I think, from afar. And the stadium, I think, itself looks pretty nice. I think it's definitely got quirks. And again, I love how I can just have this stuff sucked right up to the wall. I mean, you could bring it, in the field, but with the anomalies, you can bring them right up to the wall and make it, kill that dead space. So hopefully in the future we can do that with stands and or other props. What I would really like to do is have an overhang. I've mentioned that before in a wish list video. Wouldn't it be cool if you had a deck that hung over it? If it hit that deck, it's a home run. I mean, they have it in Minnesota. They had it in Detroit. They have it, I think, still in Citi Field. So, yeah, come on, let us overhang. I think it'd be fun. But that's all I got for you. Well, I shouldn't say that's all I got for you. I got some really cool stadiums, and I had a lot of them. But we should be able to hop right back on and showcase even more. If you want your stadium included in that more, drop the name of the stadium in the comments below along with your user ID, and we will get it showcased right here on Studio 44. If you enjoy these videos, maybe you'll enjoy our podcast. Take a look at Respect the Pick right here on YouTube. Nerd culture, a lot of different topics, Marvel movies, Star Wars. We had a lot of fun recording it. Be great little background noise for you while you're at work, or if you're in the car, or if you're working out. Just something to, have as background noise. So give it a listen. Tell us what you think. And make sure you like and subscribe. And hit that bell for notifications of future videos coming soon. As always, thank you so much for watching. You can't imagine how much I appreciate having you guys tune in all the time. So thank you so much. More to come.